In physical geography assignment number 5, you are going to be exploring earthquake hazards in some state of the United States. If you click on the link in the assignment, you'll come to this page which lists the states, and you can select any one of these states to download a hazard map for that state. Though you should note that some of the hazard maps look a little bit different, and occasionally one won't be available. I'm going to click on the Pennsylvania hazard map here. And when you scroll down on this page, you'll find this link to the hazard map itself that you should click. And this is what the map is going to look like. Here's a map of the state of Pennsylvania, and it shows the seismic hazard. Very low seismic hazard for the vast majority of the state of Pennsylvania. And why is that? Well, of course, it relates to the theory of plate tectonics, which is something I'm going to want you to reflect on. If you want to know a little bit more about what these seismic hazard maps mean, you can go to the Earthquake Hazards 101 page, which I have linked for you as well, and it will discuss how the maps work and what they are actually showing. Once you have chosen a state that you'd like to use, go ahead and save the image that appears here. And the easiest way to do that is just to right click on it and then save it as an image someplace. And I've already saved this on my desktop, so I'm not going to do that right now, but it's saved on the desktop waiting for me to use. Now what you're going to do is you are going to open up Google Earth Pro. So here's Google Earth Pro, and I'm centered on Pennsylvania right now. And when you complete this assignment, it's best to be as centered on the state as you possibly can, and also make sure that north is right at the top of the rows on the right-hand side here. If you rotate a little bit off, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for you to do. So you can sort of adjust that, and there should be sort of a default that clicks into place with north at the top of the map. The next thing you are going to do is you're going to click on this button right here that says Add Image Overlay. Click on that and it will spawn a little window for you. And here is where you can title your image overlay. Having done that, you can go ahead and open up the link that you just saved, the image that you just saved. So I'm going to browse to that on my desktop and scroll down, and there's that Pennsylvania hazard map, and I'm going to say open. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring up this image of Pennsylvania that you just saved on top of Google Earth, but it's not going to be fitting perfectly. It doesn't do that automatically. You have to geo-reference that map onto Google Earth. And you're going to do that by what's called rubber sheeting, where you essentially stretch the image to get it to fit as closely as you can. And to make this easier for you, you're going to want to take the opacity of the image and reduce it. Do you see as I slide this down, I can go all the way from clear where I can barely see that image up to where it's completely opaque and I can't see Google Earth beneath it. To some place sort of in the upper middle of this, and then move that little dialog window off to the side. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the image and you're going to actually size it so that it is the same size as Pennsylvania down here. And you can do that by clicking these little corners and sides to resize the map. So I'm going to click that and reduce the size of Pennsylvania. You can also see I'm sort of squishing it as well. And then I'm going to take it in the middle here and I'm going to drag it over here. And do you see how I can sort of match it up right here? Actually done a pretty good job. I might want to reduce that corner just a little bit here and this one here. You're not necessarily going to get a perfect fit because the projection that you are using in Google Earth is going to be different from the projection that this particular map was on, and sometimes as you rubber sheet that projection, it doesn't fit perfectly. But I feel like I've done a pretty good job here. Just so you know, you can also rotate the map if you need to. We obviously don't need to rotate this map. Maybe a little bit of rotation might help. And of course, you can move it from side to side this way as well. But I've done a pretty good job here, pretty quickly actually. So I'm going to go ahead and make it opaque so it completely blocks out Google Earth imagery now. And I'm going to say OK to this. And in my case, it's placed it under My Places. And I think I mentioned before in previous videos that it's best to put it in temporary places. It seems to do a little bit better. Once you have finished the rubber sheeting, you are going to go ahead and save that place as we've done before, and make sure you save it as a KMZ file. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then if I've done this correctly, I should be able to delete this image, go to some other place, and then when I double click on that image on my desktop, it should take me right back to Pennsylvania, and it should also put that rubber sheeted image of Pennsylvania here. So now what I'd like you to do is obviously send me the file demonstrating that you've done this, and I'll be able to look at the earthquake hazards in the state that you have chosen. And then I want you to write an essay in which you talk about the hazard that you see in the state and how that hazard is related to the theory of plate tectonics, and how a theory like the theory of plate tectonics can be used to help us make predictions about the world. Reflect on that relationship between theory and prediction, as well as make sure that you have some description of the actual hazard in the state that you're looking at. And submit that essay to me, as always, along with the KMZ file, and you should be good. Please let me know if you have any questions.